Sikh for Justice's chief. Even as we're shifting our focus, we know that the Indian consulate in San Francisco was vandalized. There was a proper arson attempt. Later on, we saw these posters of Kill India rally, the campaign, and a call to target diplomats on foreign soil. Those calls were made. The MEA came out, very heavily. Canadian leader Justin Trudeau, he's come down very heavily. The United States has properly condemned the entire situation. The Ministry of External Affairs says that this is not going to go unnoticed. It's not going to be a situation where nobody bats an eyelid. Now, what's the latest that we're picking up? Sikh for Justice's chief has come out and said that he is behind those particular Kill for India posters.
Well, Bakshi has made that statement. I'll just read that
Arindam
statement.
Bakshi.
Yeah, Arindam Bakshi has made that statement. These posters inciting violence against our diplomats and our diplomatic premises abroad are unacceptable. We have called on the government of Canada to ensure safety of our diplomats and our diplomatic missions. So it is unequivocal that we are not going to compromise on this, and we have called upon those governments, and you see that as a reaction coming in where Trudeau just says that they look at it very seriously and that they will go ahead and ensure that they will give the kind of protection that the diplomats require and also protect the diplomatic premises of our country. Meanwhile, the growing presence, I'm just reading that article.
Right.
In the Hindu, the growing presence of pro-Khalistan elements in Canada, the UK, the US and Australia have been a nagging problem for India's relation with these countries. The matter acquired a new dimension last month when a float taken out in Canada to mark the 1984 Operation Blue Star depicted the assassination of Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. So let us, why it is becoming a very diplomatic issue right now. People with pro-Khalistani leanings who have, moved away from this country in the 1984, settled in these 4 countries like Australia, US, Canada, as well as UK. They have their next generation and the generation after that entering government in these countries. Okay, so they are entering the decision-making bodies of these countries. Some of them have been appointed as ministers, some of them as opposition leaders. So this pro-Khalistan leaning outfits or the sympathizers have made it or penetrated into the governments of these countries. And what is happening is that they are constantly raising the pitch for Khalistan. At the same time, they are also affecting the policy decisions of these countries. Though the majority of them in the government in these countries want to have good relationships with India, because of their constitutional system, of course, freedom of expression is there, and these second generation of migrants who had left the time from India due to the issues of Blue Star and the consequent 1984 riots, who have settled in these countries, they have made it into their government system, and they are now dictating policies that show as a policy from these countries, but technically speaking, they are aimed against India. So we have to, in fact, tackle this
steps
issue.
that the Ministry of External Affairs has taken, even as Justin Trudeau, the United States, several of those senators, UK warns against anti-India violence, Canada not soft on terrorists, says Justin Trudeau. Are these words, it comes across as lip service because the San Francisco consulate was attacked for the second time.
It sounds
Australia,
for
United
example,
Kingdom, United States.
Everybody knows. Justin Trudeau himself knows that there's a huge votary that supports Khalistan, that supports Trudeau. All right. So, but the big question is, it'll be a huge international embarrassment if anything happens to our diplomats or to our diplomatic premises. And our concern should be that these elements have made it into the governments of these countries, and therefore you need to tackle it diplomatically and on a government-to-government basis, so that this bias is not reflected in the policies of the countries, the Canadian government's policies, nor the US government's policies, nor the UK's, nor the Australian government's policies. All of them, if you look at them, want to have good relationship with India. But when you have elements, extremist elements like this penetrating their government and also into their system, they need not think in terms of what the overall Canadian or US or Australian or UK policies are. They actually are thinking from a very narrow-minded perspective then.
Just for the benefit of the viewers, I'm going to quickly read an excerpt. PM Justin Trudeau has said that Canada has always taken serious action against terrorism and it will continue to do so, as he asserted that it is wrong to believe his government is soft on Khalistan supporters. His remarks came days after India summoned the Canadian envoy in Delhi and issued a demarc over the increasing activities by pro-Khalistani elements in Canada. Meanwhile, UK Foreign Secretary James Cleverly has warned against violence being used against the Indian High Commission in London or its staff during any protest. This was followed by a particular report on the alarming posters being shared online inciting violence against 2 Indian senior diplomats in Britain. The posters called for a Kill India Khalistan rally outside the London mission on Saturday. What's going to happen next and how the MEA is going to take charge, because it's imperative that India continues to put pressure on these countries as well to take action against people who want to incite violence on India. I mean, the mere name of the campaign says Kill India.
Yeah, and Bakshi seems to have, spoken to, as he says, that the MEA seems to have spoken to or in touch with their counterparts in these countries. Let us see how things will work out.